Why, hello there, darlings. Do I look like $1,000,000?
This is the video where I act like I have a ton of money and I'm super rich. But it's all fake. This is fake. This is fake. This is water. This is from the Halloween store. Don't smoke, kids. It's terrible for you. But the robe is real. Today I wanted to do a really fun video where I just talk about my advance and what I decided to spend it on. By the way, this isn't going to be the video where I tell you that, you know, this is how much I spent on like promotional things for my book. I'm going to do a video like that after I debut so I can kind of give you an idea of how much it costs for a traditional author to market themselves, to kind of like aid the publisher in their marketing. So let's talk about the responsible stuff first. I think that's a great idea. That's probably what you're here for. So the very first thing that I did was I hired an accountant. I know this isn't necessary. There are a lot of people that do their own taxes. I used to do TurboTax for years, and there's tons of resources online. I could have easily learned how to do my taxes myself and saved a couple $100 a year, but I did not want to do that. Number one, because I felt like I did not want to take the chances of messing it up. Authors have to pay, at least in the United States, you have to pay quarterly taxes, so once every 4 months, depending on when you're paid in what quarter, and that's kind of terrifying when I know nothing about that. I did not want to mess it up and get audited. I also kind of figured out that the amount of money that I paid for an accountant, which for me I think equaled to around $350-ish a year, which is pretty good seeing as she's gonna do my taxes for multiple quarters. But I figured out giving her $350 to do my taxes makes more sense financially for me, because I could be writing books and making more than $350 in all of that time that it would take me to research and learn how to do my own taxes. Does that make sense? I hope I explained that correctly. So if I take my book and I know how much advance I got for it, and I could like kind of split it up into hours, I can see how much I'm making per hour basically with this book. And when I know how many hours it would probably take to learn how to do taxes, it just makes more sense to be writing books and pay someone else to do my taxes. The next thing I did was I paid off some things. So I paid off my first car, which is very exciting. It's the first thing I actually own. And I also paid off me and my husband's credit cards. So we are very lucky that we do not have a lot of credit card debt. So it was not that much, but it still just feels really good to see that like 0.00 on all of your balances. Just The next thing I did, I started a retirement fund. Your girl has a 401k, not really, but kind of. Being self-employed, you have to create your own retirement plan. And so that's what I did. I talked with my accountant. We figured out a plan, how much of each advance that we want to put into this account. And yeah, it's wild. Like 75-year-old Lindsay, she's gonna be taken care of. It's gonna be okay, girl. And the last thing I did was I opened a separate savings account for my author money. So that would be for all of the taxes that I have to pay on all of my advances, any kind of savings, marketing funds. I just yeeted that all in there. It's not necessary, but I know that when it gets closer to my book coming out, I'm gonna want to do some fun promotional stuff. If my publisher like doesn't like print bookmarks or pins or, you know, whatever little fun stuff I want to do, that can go into it. And then of course like giveaways, I want to be able to like give some books away to you guys, and I'll need to pay to ship that out to you. So all of that stuff will come out of that fund, along with the tax chunk, which is very chunky. I already paid my first round of taxes, and let me tell you, that was not fun. Okay, so that was all of the responsible author, I'm an adult stuff. Let's talk about the fun stuff. I just want to say too, not that I have to explain myself, but I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. So we are very grounded. We are future oriented. We are, some would call us tightwads. I do not like to spend money. It makes me very nervous, which I think in a way is a good trait to have. I have absolutely no Libra in my chart, so spending is not a problem for me. But that being said, I get into situations where I never spend money on myself, and sometimes it's a good thing to do that. Sometimes you can reward yourself. I always buy things that I need, but I rarely buy things that I want. So when I got my advance and I kind of figured out how much money I was gonna have left over after like savings and retirement and responsible stuff, I had a little bit of money. I was like, okay, what are we gonna do with this? and it was basically like a big treat yourself moment. So I allowed myself to buy things that I wanted. Some of them quite ridiculous that I did not need, but it was still super fun. Case in point, I bought this ridiculous murdering my husband robe. I always joked around and said, if I ever sold a book, I would get one of those ridiculous robes that like you always see, the like French woman, and she's coming down the staircase because it's night, and the police knock at her door, and they're like, ma'am, where is your husband? And she's like, I don't know, officer, I will not see my husband. And then they like, you know, try to pin the murder on her, but she's too smart and she gets away and she goes off to Naples and lives in Italy with a lover and has all this money. So I always wanted one of those robes, and I got one. I actually commissioned it from a lady off of Amazon. She's really great. I will link her down in the description. She will take your exact measurements and make the robe the exact color, shape, size you want, how floofy you want it. It's just amazing. I feel like $1 million bucks. It's actually really funny walking around in this and dripping in diamonds and, you know, walking around in my 750 square foot apartment. The next thing I did was I took me and my husband on a little bit of a shopping spree. So we do not buy clothes that often. Like I said, Capricorn, don't like to spend money. And to be completely honest, like, you know, we're not super wealthy people, so we do not shop regularly. Me and him both usually buy clothes once a year. It usually ends up being in the summer. We go to Target and we just buy and replenish what we need, what has holes in it, you know, whatever. We're hippies, people. I mean, come on. But I really, really love American Eagle, and I love their Aerie line. They're just like very much my style. Everything there is very comfy. It's very like earth tone, very kind of like basic hippie gardener type feel. So I really love American Eagle, and I don't shop there much, but we just went to American Eagle. We went to many places and we got ourselves like a bunch of nice clothes, and now we're styling and profiling. The next thing I bought myself, okay, so this was a hard decision, but I've always wanted a subscription box. I've had them in the past. We had Bark Box one time for the dog, and I've gotten Owl Crate boxes before, and they're great. But I wanted something that I knew I was going to use every single product, and a lot of times I don't with Owl Crate boxes and other bookish boxes. Also, I don't physically read that much anymore because of my neck stuff. So it didn't make much sense to subscribe to a book box. So what I actually ended up subscribing to was this box called Goddess Provisions. Not sponsored, but hey, Goddess Provisions, if you want to sponsor me, let me know. They just send out like self-care witchy boxes basically every month, and I love it. And I've gotten 2 boxes so far, and I use absolutely everything in there. They're wonderful. They're like really focused on wellness and self-care, and that's kind of what I need now that I'm a professional author, so that can get rough sometimes. So I have these little boxes that come every month, and they kind of remind me to take care of me. This is just a short thing, but I got some new perfume. I never buy perfume. Perfume is one of those things that I'm just like, that is rich people stuff. I'm like, I cannot spend $80+ on something that will make me smell good when I have like rosemary in the garden. I make my own little perfumes and body sprays and stuff, so I'm like, I can't buy perfume. But there is this perfume that I absolutely love. It's this one. It's Daisy by Marc Jacobs. It's called Eau de Fraîche. I guess, I don't know. I'm literally French and I cannot speak French. My name is Lindsay G. Michel Bouquet. Yeah, I'm a bad French person, but I love this perfume. It's so nice. It's like the most light, fresh smell. It's like fresh. Ew, be fresh. Anyways, I love this perfume. When there was this limited edition that came out called Days, I wanted to get it. And it smells very similar, but it's just like a hint stronger. So on the days that I want to feel like frisky, this one, and on the days that I just want to like feel like fresh garden elf. I don't know how to describe perfumes. Am I a writer? I don't know. Do I know how to use adjectives? Not really. And the very last thing that I spent my advance on. It has always been my dream since I was a little girl to go to England. With this advance, I started a savings to do an England trip. My dream trip, the trip of a lifetime. I'm so excited. It's actually happening. Like, we're going, me and my husband are going, and I think even like a few of my friends are gonna come too. And we're just gonna make it huge. We're gonna be ridiculous. This is gonna mean so much to me because this is what I've always wanted since I'm little. I've been obsessed with England. I don't know why. It doesn't make like a ton of sense, but I've always wanted to go there. I've loved the history. I love the people. Like, all my favorite actors are British. I think we might do more than an England trip. We might do like a whole UK trip where we spend certain, you know, a certain amount of time in England and Ireland and Wales. I do have French in me, as I said, but most of me is Irish, and like there's just I really just want to go back to my homeland and like touch the ground and feel, you know, witchy. I don't know, I'm just really excited, and there's so many things I want to see. I cannot wait to go to the Tower of London and see all of the torture devices. I know my husband wants to go to like the Royal Guard and like see if he can make them laugh, which I think is like a thing. I want to go to a professional football game when I was a kid. Don't come for me, English people. I loved Manchester United, like that was my team, and I would love to go to a game one day, like a real football game. I want to go to like a pub. You people in the UK are like really cool at pubs. Like, you just like sing and you watch football and like you eat chips, and I'm like, I want to do that. And like I want to walk down a cobblestone street and see friggin' sheep and lambs. Anyways, I'm so excited about this. Obviously, when I go to the UK, if I'm in London or wherever I'm at, I can definitely maybe do a meetup with some of you guys who live in the area. That would be super, super cool. We don't know when we're going yet. Probably the fall of next year, depending on COVID stuff. So that is everything that I spent my first advance on. I'm very excited because since I turned the Glass Witch and for copy edits, I get my second chunk of my advance, which is very nice. If you did not know, there are a total of 5 payouts in my contract. So I get a chunk upon signing, and then a chunk for each book in the contract when the book is turned into copy edits. So that's 3 payments. And then I get the last 2 payments when each of the books are released, so on the release date. So there's 5. So it's going to be spread out over like 2 years. I just get smaller and smaller payments. But yeah, I feel really grateful, and I'm very, very happy with Scholastic so far. They've taken such good care of me, and I just feel so grateful to be in the position that I can be in. Like, there's like tons of people out there who don't even have cars, let alone can pay them off or can travel, like have the money to travel. Like, it's just, I feel so like blessed, and like it's such a great feeling. And just feeling financially stable is such a good feeling too. It's like, before, if me or Brian got sick, especially Brian, because he's like the sole breadwinner, right? If he got sick, we would be in trouble. If the dog got hurt, that could cause problems. And you know, it's like, but now it's like there's security, and it's a great feeling. So anyway, I didn't want to get like too personal and like bore you with, you know, my life stuff, but yeah, I really wanted to share this with you because there was a lot of fun stuff that I did, and I'm always interested in what people will spend their advances on. So I hope you found this interesting, insightful in some way. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.